3, 2,
We're live.
1.
We're
We're live.
We're live.
Hi.
At least
Hey,
we know
guys.
you can still count.
Hi, guys. How's it going? Robin Vogt here. Andrew Gerrish, Michaud, Shaelyn Frost. It is the Brick City Blockade Podcast coming to you live here this Friday.
I know we're live. Notifications.
Friday.
Notifications? It's Friday. No, it's Saturday.
It's fucking Saturday.
I don't know what time it is.
I said, I know we're live notifications because I just got the YouTube notification.
I said Friday. I thought today was Friday.
We're not prepared.
It's Friday.
It's not Friday.
We're not prepared to do this podcast.
We're not prepared at all.
Now who's watching us?
He just watched the trailer again, so that's why
Yes.
his brain is in like 17 different places.
So
I mean, it is a great trailer. But I do feel like we should save Ahsoka for last.
I agree.
So we get all the heavy stuff out of the way so we can talk about good stuff.
Let's do it. So let's start off, guys. We're here on the Brick City Blockade Podcast talking to you tonight. We have so many different things we want to break down, get deep into, and we want to be able to bring forth this conversation because, listen, I have thoughts about these last few days. Yes, indeed.
You're a nice gentleman.
I appreciate that. Sometimes, every once in a while.
Depends on the day.
Guys, I think we have to break down what's going on with Star Wars, Disney, and Bob Iger's comments the other day.
The idiotic comments he made that made Ron Perlman basically tell him he's going to hunt him down, essentially.
Pretty much.
Yeah, we talked about this morning and how
it's so frustrating. So if anybody doesn't know what actually happened, everything has been pretty much breaking down in the world of streaming and movies because I'm going to say this, and it's ridiculous, because some executives are coming out and saying they shouldn't be striking. We take care of our actors. We take care of our content creators. And people in SAG-AFTRA are actually saying, no, we have been basically used for our ideas for so many years and have not, number one, received compensation for it. Mm-hmm. Number two, have not had creative rights to these things. And number three, half of the time, these writers and illustrators and everybody are not getting paid what they should be getting paid and have the right to unionize.
Nope.
Beyond that. And we're starting to see SAG-AFTRA has decided we're going to go on strike. Fran Dresser came right out. She was great. She said, enough of this. She was like, I did The Nanny for years, and I took pay cuts, and I did all this for everybody.
I love the whole cast of Oppenheimer missed the premiere just to go on strike.
Exactly. And even what's her name came out for the Barbie movie, Margot Robbie. And she even released a statement. She said, listen, I know Barbie's coming out soon. Everybody wants to go see it in the theaters, but I totally respect your choice not to go to the theater to see it in solidarity with us.
Well, Christopher Nolan also said that he's not going to write anything until it's done.
And then, Andrew and Sean, we see Bob Iger come out on TV in an interview.
Now, we thought Bob Iger was one of the good ones.
When we heard, all of us here, when we heard that Bob Iger was coming back and taking over all of Disney and becoming the CEO again, just stepping in for the next couple of years to make sure we transition right.
Yeah, he's done a real shit job.
The thing that got me was when he went on camera and said, we shouldn't have challenged Ron DeSantis in the don't say gay stuff.
That's like a complete 180.
360 in the wrong direction. In the wrong direction. He decided to go full 360. Maybe it's a good idea. Nope, it's wrong. I'm going to take this left turn.
Mm-hmm. Well, more right turn at this point.
More of a right. Yes, far right turn, you could say. And it's so frustrating because I was recently at Disney with Shaelyn, as everybody knows. And, there's so much diversity and welcoming embrace that comes if you're part of the LGBTQ plus community within Disney. Mm-hmm. And I don't blame employees for now saying, what the hell?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We're not in the 1960s or 50s anymore.
No.
It's time to get away from gays are scary or lesbians are scary or bisexuals. Anyone's scary. Yeah. Robin's scary.
He is scary.
But at the same time, it's like there's more stuff to worry about in the world right now than whether two guys are fucking each other in the ass.
Yeah, well,
am I wrong?
No, and I think that there's a big focus here when it comes to the way things were handled. And Rural Farm Boy actually, he just actually put in here, feels like Bob's words were on the other side, as he says. I agree with that to a certain extent. I know he has to be careful in his role, right? But I will say, Rural Farm Boy, if he comes on to a program and is welcomed in to say, hey, what's going on with Disney? When you've got 8 other things not trending in the right direction for your company, and you've got a lot of questions to answer around other things, coming out and releasing a public statement about the politics of Disney is probably not the right thing to do right there.
They're just trying to pander to both sides.
They are. And I think that that's where we're going to...
He's pandering to the wrong side, in my opinion.
Yes.
Like,
because Disney has been... Yeah.
We've talked about it before. You're allowed to believe in what you believe in.
Yes.
But when it starts to hurt other people is when those beliefs go straight out the door for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And maybe Rural Farm Boy, maybe you meant to agree with us on that. And I just want to be clear there, come into the chat and say what you need to say, because we respect your opinions and everything.
We're all respectful of everyone's opinions.
Yeah.
What I was trying to get across is when people are getting killed for whatever because of their beliefs or whatever is when I draw the line.
Yeah.
Whether it's left or right. Whether you do something wrong, I will call you out regardless.
Thank you, Rural. Yeah. I agree. Yeah. I agree, Andrew.
Agreed.
100%. And, I think when it comes to the SAG-AFTRA stuff, we saw Rosario Dawson today on the SAG-AFTRA line. She's out there with her signs and everything. We're probably going to see Diego Luna. We're going to see other people who are in the Star Wars universe and in the Marvel Cinematic Universe too, that are deciding to say, you know what, I'm not putting forth any more time into these things until we get the right.
And that's why we're getting all these half-baked stories.
Yeah.
In the Marvel projects and even Star Wars. Like, even going back to rewatch season 3 of Mandalorian, I can tell there's a difference within the writing of it.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, a lot of it is Dave and John writing it, but it's not on par with seasons 1 or 2. It feels like a complete different show with season 3.
Just like what happened to the TV show Heroes, how completely it went off track, and that's why Heroes got canceled.
Yep.
It was the writing. It was the same situation, but I think it's worse.
Like Secret Invasion, Marvel's latest show. I like it, but the writing still doesn't feel like what the MCU should be. Or what the MCU established.
Yeah.
And again, I think they should take a year or 2 off, because there's a lot of comic book projects coming out that just need a breather, and that's what's making people not want to go see these movies.
Yeah.
The Flash is a whole different story I'll get into another day. But like the visual effects department, that's taking a hit. Everything's taking a hit because no one's paying them the proper ways they should be paid.
That's
or
right.
giving them the proper treatment they should be treated. No one should be treated like a slave. That was abolished a long time ago.
Yeah.
Although a lot of Republicans kind of want that back because they're delusional, but that's another story for another time as well.
So the title of this episode tonight, for people who are going to be listening to this podcast as well on Spotify and all the podcasting networks, is the industry falling apart or are people waking up? I think it's both. I think the industry
it's both.
It is.
It's falling apart in certain areas, and people are waking up to realize, holy crap, we've taken this for 50 plus years, And I'm going to be honest with you. I think
actually probably 100 years by now.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, correct. And I think what's going on too is that we're also seeing Amazon, we're seeing Trader Joe's, we're seeing UPS, we're seeing all these other places come out and say, we've had enough of this. We're going to unionize. Starbucks has been like the big one recently. We're going to unionize. We're going to get a fair contract. We're going to get the right wage for the kind of work that we do. And now what's going on is the industry is trying to backtrack and say, we've always taken care of you.
Yeah.
Now, Bob Iger also coming out and saying we're making significant cuts to Star Wars means all of those workers, all of those people that went to Star Wars Celebration this year, heard about all these amazing projects coming up, right? They are all in risk of being wiped away.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
and honestly, if they do wipe them all away, if, like, say they do away with Acolyte, seeing that's basically done, that's basically them losing more money.
Yeah.
Regardless, because that's what Warner Brothers did with Batgirl. That was completely done, and they canned it completely and made it a write-off or financial failure or whatever.
It's unfortunate, or just in Disney in general too.
Yeah,
like the last Pixar movie that came out lost money.
Oh yeah, that was Elemental. Yeah, it did. It lost a lot of money.
It's Pixar.
They're also not promoting these movies either.
I agree.
Like, I saw maybe one trailer for Elemental when I went and saw The Flash, and that was the first time I heard of it.
Yeah.
Like, we're not going to go back to the ways movies used to be where it was a big event. I hope it does. After this strike, if anything after this strike, we go back to the big event movies, I'll be happy. But I don't see that happening. Maybe with Avengers. I don't know. And that's the other thing. If they cancel like Acolyte or any of the other projects that they have, that will cause even more backlash towards the fandom and everything.
Yeah.
So they also have to think of it that way too, because I get their thoughts with that, but at the same time, they're gonna shoot themselves in the foot.
Yeah, that's right, Real Farm Boy. Pay the writers and tell us stories, fair wages.
Yes,
exactly. That's right on the money. And
we don't want that. We do want that happen, but also we don't want like AI to take all this over.
That's what I'm concerned about.
Like,
especially with the Secret Invasion thing, the intro, it's all AI.
Yeah.
I get why are they doing it? But
let me just say this. A certain director named James Cameron made 2 movies about why artificial intelligence is not good.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah, he did. And that's what I'm worried about when I hear Bob Iger come on. I hear Disney executives. I hear other executives, the leaders of SAG-AFTRA that are not the actors or actresses and the creators and the writers, is that it's funny, the correlation. And I don't think this is a conspiracy theory. I think that there's enough data and enough public know about around this that it's pretty clear. We're going through this phase where we're trying to pay creators and creatives less by saying, hey, how about you come in on an internship for the next 4 years? Yeah. And how about you don't get paid and you give us all these ideas? That's existed for a long time, no matter where you've been.
But don't even get me started on the casting couch that they had.
Well, right.
Or that they still have.
Yes. Yeah. But what happened after those 4 years, probably from like the 1940s to the 1990s, was after those 4 years of doing an internship, they looked at you and said, here's your contract. Thanks so much for working so hard on these projects and everything. We want to hire you. We want your ideas.
If you even last the 4 years.
Right. Exactly. But now what's going on is these creators, and it's specifically people in the special effects department, come in on internships, come in on these, 1 to 2 year contracts, right? And then what do? They take the idea and they throw it through an AI generation or a generator, and they say, we can do this ourselves. And that's why we're in the situation we are now, is because people are waking up, people in the industry are waking up and saying, we're about to lose our jobs to more computers, more AI, and more technological advancements that are going to take away the creativity factor of these projects.
This is not human. Was the human connection?
But they can mass produce it. That's the problem. And it's scary.
It's already happening.
It's scary. It's unregulated. And the industry is loving, like, Andrew, you know this. Sean, you know this from retail, right? Yes. How quick has it transferred from people physically being at cash registers to machines doing that work?
Within probably the last 9 years, it's basically gone to all self-checkout. Like, like obviously, like there's like cash registers, but the majority of it is the self-checkout, which is convenient, but you're also fucking over those workers that need that job.
Correct.
Yes, that is true.
It is. It's absolutely true. When Shaelyn and I were at Disney is very focused on, making sure that people are here to help you along the way with certain things and whatnot. But it's amazing how the My Disney Experience apps and all of those different applications when you go to Disney.
Don't they have like the room keys on like your phone now?
Everything is
or like on the wristband or whatever.
On the wristband and on the phone. Things that originally.
So if you lose your wristband, you're fucked.
Well, exactly. Trying to get somebody, I'll say this, just trying to get somebody to come and help us open our room because the band was not working took us 45 minutes.
Jesus.
At Old Key West.
Ooh, yeah,
45 minutes.
That's way too long.
Because they said, just reset your band. Just reconnect it to your phone. Just do this, do that. No, I want somebody to come out here physically with a key and help us get into our room. Mm-hmm. That's gone. And I bet
Tony, we're already in that reality at this point.
It's already there. And we're losing the customer service. The people who work for that industry, right, are being paid minimum wage, if not less in some cases. I'm thinking about specifically people who are waitresses and waiters, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Sub-minimum wages because of tips. Because they're tipped jobs, they don't have to make that.
Mm-hmm.
So we're hitting this reality where everybody across the board is saying, holy shit, enough. And it doesn't help. I'll wrap up my thoughts on this. It doesn't help when Bob Iger comes out and says the things that he does.
No, they were completely idiotic. And it's not going to have anyone want to work with Disney after the fact. And honestly, I won't be surprised if he's like forced out of the position at this point.
I mean, at what point do we look at it? And this is going back to being Star Wars fans and Marvel fans, right?
Mm.
Like, unless I see Dave Filoni, and unless I see Jon Favreau, and unless I see Kevin Feige out there with the SAG-AFTRA folks actually supporting them. Mm-hmm. These are people that work for these individuals, right? Unless I see them taking the stand and saying, yeah, you know what? I could see Dave Filoni doing it.
I could too.
Yeah.
But you have to be able to become uncomfortable. You have to be able to say, you know what? My job is great and I love what I do, but all of these people make my job possible. Until I see them out there, I'm making this promise to you right now on this. I have no interest in going to Disney, spending my money at Disney after this, or going online and buying Disney products, because that is the way that you make that impact. Until they show me that they can fix this and turn this ship around, you just can't. You really just can't. And it's sad.
It really is.
Because Bob thought in his new role that he could come out and he could just try to appeal to both sides. We live in a society right now where one side is trying to really fix stuff and the other side is trying to send us back another 100 years.
Yep.
There is no
middle ground.
There is no middle ground in that.
There really isn't, unfortunately. And that's why I got into the, ironically, during my interview, I got into this conversation with my interview at Best Buy. And we talked about, like, we're not the only ones in the universe. And we talked about basically, like, if we're already invaded by technically aliens, they're not going to want to bother us because we're already killing each other at this point.
Yeah, I had that conversation with Shaelyn.
Well, they're just going to kill us all. So
yeah,
but that's
we got a fucking useless president. We're fucked again in the elections. So yeah,
I hear you. So I don't know.
As long as the orange doesn't get back in, we're good. But I have a bad feeling.
Right? Can we just have someone younger, please?
I know.
Well, that's the thing. I feel like the age requirement to be president should be lowered. It shouldn't be these old shriveled up fucks that are still barely alive.
Yeah.
Having cocaine in one of the anyway.
Yeah, I know we could get into that too, but
that's a whole podcast for another day.
It really is. It really
Cocaine.
is. Oh my god.
Cocaine.
So I don't know how you guys feel, but like, listen, I love Disney Plus. I love watching the content that's on there. Shaelyn and I are watching through the Bad Batch before watching Star Wars Rebels before Ahsoka. So we're trying to get through that.
You got about a month to
about a month to do it. Not a month. So, I don't mind committing my time to doing that because it's fun. It's there.
And it's an escape from our fucked reality now.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. And that's where I stand on it is, listen, I love Disney Plus and all the content that it has, but God damn it. Like, if you think you're going to be able to get new subscribers right now, and if you think that you're going to try to publish new content on Disney Plus, then you really got to really think about as a business model.
Even HBO Max or anything else, really.
All these Netflix, like there's Netflix workers that are on strike right now too. It's across the board.
Netflix is losing money.
Yes,
everyone's losing money.
Yeah,
but don't even get me started on the residuals that the actors weren't getting paid for the streaming stuff either.
Oh.
I didn't even care about the show growing up, but the show Big Time Rush from Nickelodeon moved from Netflix to Paramount Plus, and one of the actors in it has gotten $0 in residuals for the episodes that they have on their streaming services. So,
well, and remember when Jennifer Lawrence threw a fit with Disney about her role, and
that and Scarlett Johansson.
Was that
X-Men?
No, I think it was with Black Widow specifically.
No, you said Jennifer Lawrence.
Did I say Jennifer Lawrence? Sorry.
I was like Jennifer Lawrence. Yeah, I mean,
well, Jennifer Lawrence, she's out there with the SAG-AFTRA folks right now. But Scarlett Johansson, when there was that whole thing about she went to Disney.
Yeah, they made her look like she was the bad guy.
They made her
reality.
That was the beginning of this. That was the beginning of this. She got her lawyer involved and said, no. You can't be continually showing these films and these products on Disney Plus and everything.
Yeah, because her contract was still the same contract from 10 years ago.
And we were on the podcast and we were like, what is she doing? Why would she be doing this?
Yeah.
This is why, because this was the beginning of it. So, it's interesting how things take full circles and we look back at it and we realize when that breaking point was.
Yeah.
But I think what we're saying here tonight, I think we need more people in the podcast community. We need more people the Steelbook crew, the people who are the face of media online. I'm talking about other Star Wars podcasts and other major podcasts online need to be having these conversations and being honest about them, because these people who are out there striking, not getting paid, taking cuts and have families to feed and everything, needs support.
Mhm.
And I know people will say, well, it's politics, but I want to stay away from it. I'm sorry.
It's not a political thing. It's
It's reality.
it's reality.
Make a living.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it could be any one of us. It could be
Mhm.
me. It could be Sean. It could be you, Andrew.
Yeah.
And we would hope that they would also turn around and be like, yeah, you know what? Marshall's workers, educators, people who work at retail like Best Buy or Target or whatever, they're on strike because guess
No,
what?
fuck Target.
Well, no, but you know what I'm saying in terms of,
I mean, there's a Target. How can you not?
but I mean, you would hope that other people would say, you know what, we stand in solidarity with them.
Yeah.
Like we are right now with SAG-AFTRA and the creators and the writers and everything else. I see it as a no-brainer. It really is. It's the only way we're going to make progress going forward.
Mhm.
My question to you guys, Andrew, I'll have you answer this first. When it comes to content that is scheduled to come out, how many of the creators and directors and writers are going to say to Apple TV and to Netflix, Amazon Prime, Disney, you know what? If you put this stuff out, we're going to boycott it.
Mm.
What do you think the chances of that? I know with Netflix it's already happening. But like I'm thinking about like Andor, right? They stopped Andor
Mhm.
because
I mean,
and everybody was like,
Dave
no.
Filoni, I'm pretty sure, stopped product on his movie.
Yes.
So Acolyte stopped. Everything's basically stopped at this point. And it's basically gonna be a point being like, hey, it's either you give us a fair wage and fair accommodations, or these movies are never going to see the light of day.
Yeah.
That's how it's going to be. Unfortunately, I would love to see all these movies, but at the same time,
it's already happening.
I can live without it at the same time because I do have other content to watch and rewatch. I'm a frequent rewatcher of a lot of old movies. I've been doing that a lot lately. And I don't know. I hope the strike doesn't go on too long to the point where these strikers are struggling to keep their homes. But knowing the comments that Bob Iger made, he will be an asshole and push it to the point where they're basically begging for them to stop. And I hate to see that. And maybe in between now and whenever the strike stops, maybe Bob Iger is forced out. At this point, there needs to be a new head of Disney, one who's younger, who actually, I don't know, likes this content. Like, I'm not saying he hates the content that's being put out, but he doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, the way he and Kathleen Kennedy just say, "Oh, we're not doing that anymore." It's like,
feel emotionless.
I just don't like. Think about it. Think about this. You have Elemental in a lot of the Pixar projects, right?
Mm-hmm.
That are upcoming too, and you see what happened to Elemental in the box office specifically, and it's because of poor marketing and everything.
I mean, look at Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
The last movie that's going to be scored by John Williams, technically the last one to me was Last Crusade, but that's a different story. But the last Indiana Jones with Harrison Ford, it's doing shit because one, they didn't promote it. Two, there really didn't need to be a fifth one. And three, because of it's not a good story.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't go and see it because I had already seen all the movies I needed for the month of June.
Yeah, right.
And I wasn't a big Indiana Jones fan anyway. My favorite one is The Last Crusade because Sean Connery's in it.
It's a great.
I love Sean Connery.
Great movie.
And it's doing shit at the box office. And I don't want to be one of those people that's like, when is Kathleen Kennedy gonna actually get reprimanded for all this shit? Because she is the head of Lucasfilm. It's nobody else but her in charge.
Yeah.
And she's had Indiana Jones bomb. You can't really say Star Wars is bombed because they've made $1 billion, but the viewership of Mandalorian season 3, it dropped off quite a bit. Again, I don't want to be like those that are like, you need to fire Kathleen Kennedy. If anything, it should be multiple people in charge of Lucasfilm. It should be her as the face of Lucasfilm, but then other people are in charge of the creative.
That should be the same way with Disney.
The marketing, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Because again, they barely marketed fucking Indiana Jones. Sorry for language, but
no, it's true though. I mean, it wasn't until recent that I've even seen people on social media saying, "Oh, I'm getting ready to go see Indiana Jones," and I'm like, "Wait, hold on. How long has it been out for already?"
Yep.
Barely a month.
Barely a month.
And it's it's probably 3 weeks now.
Yeah, my friend went to go see it, even though he was not going to see it, but I guess he got tickets for free for a Fandango account, all that.
Yeah.
So they're giving away tickets on Fandango. Look at that.
Yeah, the budget for Indiana Jones was between $295 million to $400 million. And it's barely made $263.8 million.
So they'll be lucky if they even scrap half of the amount that
they're not going to be able to. I mean, look at The Flash. The Flash is already out of theaters, and it was only in theaters for a month. And it's coming out in like August on physical media.
It used to be out for like 3 months.
And that was it?
Yeah. The Flash barely made $263.1 million. But again, that's with all the Ezra Miller backlash.
Yeah.
With the CG was pretty dodgy. And the only thing they had really going for it was Michael Keaton coming back as Batman. That's why I went to see it, because of that nostalgia factor.
See,
and
I didn't
he was great. He was great as Batman.
I bet Michael Keaton was. Yeah. I bet he was. So listen, they're not going to be able to scrap forward with some of these ideas. And I see Rural Farm Boy said, yeah, Acolyte is in post-production. That's right. And because it's in post-production, there's this unique opportunity that Lucasfilm employees can have to say, hey, guess what? We're going to stop post-production.
Yeah.
We're going to put this thing on hold.
And even Tony, he saw Indiana Jones opening weekend, and the story is pretty terrible. And like you said, no time was spent on making a good script.
Because it's cash grab, right?
Yeah.
All right. So do you guys care about spoilers?
But it's what it is.
Do you care about spoilers for Indiana Jones? Because I already know what
to folks on here on.
I don't.
Spoiler alert! Indiana Jones spoilers.
I don't.
Yeah, they do. So usually Indiana Jones is usually based on like reality kind of stuff with a little bit of paranormal stuff thrown in there. They do time travel in this one.
Oh yeah, I did hear about that.
They do what?
Yeah.
Time travel.
For
by a stone, right? Or a dial?
Something like that, yeah.
Dial of Destiny?
Isn't that what it is? That
yeah.
So you're telling me that Hot Tub Time Machine has more script than Indiana Jones?
Basically.
Probably a better script too.
It probably does.
So that's going to be the cover of this episode, is going to be Indiana Jones inside of a hot tub. The Hot Tub Time. Because
that'll be great.
I can't believe that they did that.
Yeah. It's
How
like it doesn't work with Indiana Jones. Yeah, they went and found the Fountain of Youth, but it was still based in reality. Yeah, the aliens were weird in Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, but I can kind of deal with that than fucking time travel, because time travel doesn't exist.
It's made to be corny. That's not. Time travel is overused in everything.
That and the multiverse is getting overused.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
And the multiverse has started.
yeah, that's
It feels like it's all over the place now.
Legit. Like, there's Into the Spider-Verse, Across the Spider-Verse,
Beyond it, by the way.
Spider-Man No Way Home, Loki, technically Avengers Endgame with the time travel.
Yep.
The Flash. Fuck.
All
That's
the,
six. That's 6 projects that deal with the multiverse. Doctor Strange. That's 7. And like
Deadpool 3,
yeah.
technically now, which they put on hold.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. Although I will get into that conversation after we're done talking about this, but about the comic accurate Wolverine costume that they used for Deadpool.
Yes.
Can we get into the nerd talk? I kind of need to talk about.
Yeah, go for
stuff.
it. Here. I talked a lot during the vent session.
Well, no, I just wanted to make sure you guys are done venting.
Ow. Okay. Yes.
But of course, like the old X-Men movies, they had the black leather shit. They didn't have like the bright colored costumes, and they're like, oh, we're never gonna do any of the bright costumes. But finally seeing Wolverine's costume on Hugh Jackman is so cool. And it's literally straight from the comics, besides it having sleeves, because usually it's sleeveless. But just the fact that we're getting him in the costume is amazing.
Yeah. I could not agree more. I saw those pictures and I was like, oh my goodness. This is the first step towards, and I would love to see it happen because I love the comic series so much, is that, and I think they could absolutely play true to it, is I want to see a Spider-Man Deadpool film as well, but I would love it to be Deadpool and Miles Morales.
I could see that happening. I mean,
Tom
Holland has said he doesn't want to be Spider-Man forever. Although with Tom Holland's track record with movies, you kind of have to be Spider-Man forever.
Yeah, you kind of have to be once you're in that role. That's it.
But I would love them to bring in Miles, but then they'd be like, "Oh, it's woke because they're bringing in a black Spider-Man."
Oh my god, I know.
Black Hispanic
right.
Spider-Man.
Start talking about that one. Yep.
Yeah.
I would love to see
Far
X-23 come back again. Or,
Yeah.
Not come back, but actually come to life.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely curious what they're going to do with Deadpool 3. Because, so I don't know how true it is, but I did see a subreddit which kind of like deals with like the multiverse in a way of like how Deadpool works.
Yeah.
So basically Deadpool goes to the future to like the movie Logan where Wolverine's about to die.
Ooh.
But then he grabs him and brings him back to the past, and like gives him the yellow suit. And then apparently they're going through all the different 20th Century Fox like super Marvel like movies and stuff like that. So like
that's why there's the big 20th Century
like
Fox.
Fantastic Four, the Bryan Singer X-Men,
Oh yeah,
like Storm and all that. And then at the end they get thrown into the MCU because the guys at the TVA, which is featured in, of course, Loki, they just throw them into the MCU because they don't know what to do with them. So.
Oh my god, I could totally see. I would love to see him dragging Wolverine back, and then they get to X-Men Apocalypse, and he's like, "The fuck is this shit?"
And then they can just go to
Oscar Isaac,
go to straight to Moon Knight.
go to Moon Knight, or go to X-Men Apocalypse, look up at Apocalypse, and be like, "Who the hell are you?" But yeah, I so that's one of the things I am excited about is, and let's be honest here, like I'll get into this here. I've watched a lot of Ryan Reynolds films, like some of his new stuff, the Netflix films, I don't know. I really have liked the stuff. The one with The Rock is fantastic.
It was,
I loved it.
It was okay.
It was fun.
I want
Gal Gadot. Can't beat that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I had fun with it. The Rock and Ryan Reynolds together is hilarious.
Yeah, they do work well together.
I need Ryan Reynolds to play someone like I really like narcissistic villain. Like he plays the same. He plays the same guy in all of his movies mostly.
Live action version of The Spot.
I mean, I thought the guy who voiced Spot was Ryan Reynolds.
Right?
It does sound.
Yeah,
same attitude and everything.
I thought he was what's
And then we're not going to be able to see that for another like 2-3 years.
Yeah.
I don't know. But
which Across the Spider-Verse is now my favorite Spider-Man movie. So
wait until Beyond the Spider-Verse now.
Yeah, that'll be my top.
They just keep setting a new standard each time.
They really do. Because we haven't really talked about it, but like all the different Spider-Man that they used for it is really cool. And they brought in Donald Glover from Homecoming because he played the Prowler in that.
That was so cool. He's just sitting there. Hey.
Yeah, I can understand that, Tony.
Says
you can only take so much Ryan Reynolds outside of Deadpool, but the movie with The Rock, him and Gal Gadot was pretty fun.
Yeah, it was a fun movie. I enjoyed it. But you know, I know we're kind of going off on a tangent, and that's what we do best, right?
Yes.
So I watched a movie last night, and I watched a movie.
Two Girls, One Cup?
No, not that one.
What did I watch last?
Two Guys, One Cup.
No, they did not watch. I don't know. That's his choice. But
Two Guys, One Urinal.
Oh God, no. Oh. That's called going to a NASCAR race. Anyway.
But they only go left, so.
That's true.
Anyway.
So I watched Masters and Commander, Far Side of the World, again for the first time. That's with Russell Crowe. It's got Paul Bettany and who's the other?
Russell Crowe. It's got Billy Boyd in it from.
Yeah, Billy Boyd's in it, and I thought about it, and that's one of I remember seeing it in the theaters when I was like 10 years old. My dad took me to see it because I was obsessed with like world history and everything, and he was like, "Oh, you know, this would be a cool movie to bring Robin to," and he didn't realize, oh my goodness, people's heads are getting blown off by cannons.
I mean, there's one way to like experience a movie like that,
right? And so rewatched.
Would you say that was probably your first R-rated movie then?
Yeah, I would say it tugged the PG-13 line.
I think
sure.
Dracula was
Dracula, yeah,
was my first R.
Mine was Predator.
Oh, Predator's a good one though.
Yeah, because it was Predator and then the Terminator. Because back in the day when we had to rent VHS tapes, my brother rented Predator, the Terminator, and Total Recall.
Oh my God.
So,
what a triple.
And he the scene even freaks Dave out. You know the scene in Total Recall where Arnold's like mask gets like broken and his face starts puffing out and all that stuff?
Yeah.
That freaked me out.
That is one of those scenes that even lives in my head rent free for the wrong reasons. It's horrible. Oh my goodness. But when I was watching Master and Commander, Far Side of the World, I was like, oh my goodness. The only other film that we have had recently, and I know we have.
I don't think I've seen the movie.
It's really good. That we have.
Where's
that's
the
like,
4K for it?
Oh yes, the 4K for it. We haven't really had any historical films like that really since Lincoln.
Yeah, I really enjoyed Lincoln.
What's that?
I enjoyed Lincoln.
1917.
No, but I mean, like within that time period, within the 1800s.
Oh, see, I don't know.
Yeah, we haven't really had a Civil War film recently. We haven't really had a Revolutionary War, like The Patriot was a film that took place during the Revolutionary War. We've had a lot of TV series, right? But I was thinking about it. I'm like, oh my goodness, Lincoln won so many awards when it came out.
It did.
Because
no one cares about awards anymore.
But when you think about historical films, that's usually what they do. Hamilton came to Broadway. Hamilton won a whole bunch of awards. People like that kind of content.
Mm-hmm.
but we haven't had any groundbreaking historical films recently that are within that 1800s, late 1700s, 1800s time period. The one exception I think will be Apple Films is doing the Napoleon film.
Oh, I saw this.
Oh yeah, I definitely want to see that.
That looks really
Joaquin
good.
Phoenix in that role.
I know it's Joaquin Phoenix playing freaking Napoleon. So I think coming out of that film, I think a lot of people are going to say, why don't we have more things within that 1800s time period? We could have a whole film that talks about post-Civil War.
I mean, hell, we don't even have anything in like the 1600s. Like the only thing we have from 1692, which was the witch trials, is the Crucible. That's really it.
Yeah. Right.
You don't have much like Renaissance stuff anymore.
No. There's still a whole lot nobody talks about with those trials. How fucked up they were.
I'm sure you could find like very like foreign films about these movies.
Yeah.
You just gotta go search.
But not like mainstream.
Not like big Hollywood production movies, but I'm sure you can find a good foreign film that's produced well.
I mean, hell, look at Sleepy Hollow. That's just getting a 4K release in September. And that's set in the 1800s.
Yeah. One that kind of stands out to me that I think would be really interesting, and I think would be a really great film to have right now because of everything happening and truths coming out about our, former presidents and everything, and, the history of our presidency in the United States, is a George Washington film actually really showcasing that, he was the first president of the United States, but he lived a fucked up. He
had a dark side.
He had a real dark side to him. And we've had a lot of films that talk about Reagan and Nixon and their dark sides and everything. But I think it's about time that we break it down to, like, we had a John Adams series with Paul Giamatti as John Adams and talked about the dark side.
What about an Andrew Jackson series?
Oh my goodness. I mean, no, because then the far right would make it like this whole like
he'd be a savior
USA thing, and
he'd be a savior. I hate that I share a name with him.
Oh, do like a realistic Lewis and Clark film,
but more focused on Sacagawea, like.
Yeah, I think that there's a time period that has really not been explored yet, and I think the Napoleon film, which we're all very excited about, I think that has the potential of having people say, "Wow," and that takes place right around the same time as Masters and Commander, which is really cool. The other one was it Gods and Generals? It's a long film, but you had every amazing actor that you could come up with that was in that movie. You had some really great actors that were in that. I never saw it in theaters because it was like a 3.5 hour, 3 hours 45 minutes worth of film. But
I mean, you did see Avatar.
I did. Yeah, that's true. Avatar: Way of the Wet. Is that Way of the Water? Way of the Wet.
I was so bored in that movie.
You're so wet.
Sure.
We'll put it that way.
I was bored as hell during.
I know that we at one point it really.
James Cameron can't get over Titanic. The last half hour was the fucking Titanic sinking. Which then he has a sequel to Titanic with Titan now.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
It was a fun movie. I enjoyed it, but I do see where Andrew is saying, like, during that part where they're trying to rescue them, and it was like, oh, we got them. Oh, we lost them. Oh, we got them. Oh, we lost them. And they just kept going back and forth and back and forth.
Isn't the same thing with the Ryan Reynolds and Rock movie?
Yes, it is. Fine. Yes, you're right. It is that. But I just don't know where we go from here, because there have been some really great films recently.
I recently watched this movie on Netflix called Missing, and it's really well done.
Oh, really? I have thoughts about Missing.
Did you watch it?
No, but I did not like the trailer.
Oh, the trailer! It was so fucking good with the the reveals and all that, because it takes all place on a computer screen.
Yeah, see, that's what gets me.
It makes it much. If it wasn't on a computer screen,
Is it a horror movie or
it's a thriller movie? Well, it's about this girl, Storm Reed, who tries to find her mom, which she goes missing in another country, and she goes.
That's right up my alley.
So many twists.
I know.
There's so many twists that I did not expect. It was really well done, well made.
Shaelyn, we'll have to watch Missing because Sean says I have to be in order to be cool. Missing.
Shayla's like, you're not cool anyway.
Mom, the meatloaf.
Mom, I'm
You're
going.
never cool. But I recently.
Yeah, what have you recently seen?
Because there's a lot of horror movies I haven't seen
Yeah.
really that have been out for forever. I just watched Insidious the other day for the first time.
How did you like it?
I really enjoyed it. It's not your stereotypical paranormal activity kind of movie. It's done by the same creators.
Right.
But when the scares happen, it actually gets you. Of course, there's jump scares. There's always going to be jump scares. But it really plays up the fact, especially if you believe in the paranormal, it'll be specific things that you'll just catch and it'll still make you jump,
no.
a shadow figure or something.
No, I can't watch that. I see shadow figures every night. I can't be doing that.
Well, I mean, it's called Insidious for a reason.
Sorry, my cat is not a shadow figure. It is a shadow cat.
You should watch Darth Sidious instead.
Oh, somebody should do that. That'd be funny.
But I watched that. What else did I watch? I rewatched.
Have you watched Swords of Destiny?
What was it?
The Swords of Destiny.
I don't know if I've seen that.
I haven't seen that.
Michaud Yeoh's movie?
I don't think I've seen that.
That's a really good movie. Good kung fu movie.
I love when Andrew does that. When somebody says, I think I've seen the movie. I don't think I've seen that.
I said I haven't seen it.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think I've seen that.
But I rewatched John Wick Chapter 4 because that's my favorite in the series.
Yeah.
That's a game. Sorry, wrong.
Absolutely fantastic.
Love John Wick Chapter 4. Love it.
Especially with Donnie Yen.
Oh my God. So good.
Again, he's playing a badass blind guy.
Poor Donnie.
Well,
he plays it so well.
He does. And if you go and rewatch it, he has to actually shoot his gun more because he doesn't know if the person is dead or not. So he just keeps shooting. but the biggest highlight for me was the fact that Donnie Yen and Hiroyuki Sanada had a sword fight in it.
Yeah, that was really cool.
And that's huge. Two of the biggest martial art actors in Japan and China. That's huge. Even though Hiroyuki Sanada is basically the Sean Bean of the Japanese movies and stuff like that, because he always dies.
Man, I love that top-down scene. It's one of my favorite scenes.
Oh, I know.
When he goes to the hotel, whatever you want to call it.
Hotel.
Yeah,
Sorry.
That scene was straight out of a Call of Duty video game or something like that, where you're just going through the rooms and everything.
Yeah, John Wick Chapter 4 is fantastic.
And Bill Skarsgård was great as the villain.
Yeah.
You couldn't wait till he got shot in the face.
It's so true.
Although his Pennywise eyes he came out a little bit here and there.
Yeah.
You noticed.
Yeah, I noticed that a couple different times. I was like, wait, hold on.
And then they had Mr. Krabs in there.
Extraction 2 with Chris Hemsworth.
Oh.
It was the fucking 24-minute one-shot scene.
Ooh.
Single shot scene. It was fucking amazing, though.
Sounds interesting.
Huh.
Yeah. Have you seen the first one?
I've seen the first one, yeah. I haven't seen the second one.
I recently got VHS 99, which is a Shudder horror movie. Shudder's pretty decent with their straight to Walmart Blu-rays sometimes.
Yeah.
VHS 99, I'll check out at some point. Recently watched It Follows. It was all right.
It was all right. Yeah.
But I know Robin's not the biggest horror fan.
No, listen. So
Neither am I. So.
neither am I. But I think.
I mean, you like it more than me.
Yeah, I do, and I think it's one of those things.
So if
where
I said, "Let's watch Halloween right now," you'll be like, "Sure."
No, you'd have to look at me and be like, "Stop being a baby."
You're being a pussy.
I'd watch the first one. So.
Oh yeah, it would be the first one.
You and David would have to put me and like strap my arms to the chair and put clips on my eyes.
Well, I mean, I'm not having watched Halloween Ends because I fucking hate that one.
What's Halloween in space? Is that a real thing?
No, I wish it was. I wish it was.
That'd be so cool. I would love that.
I mean, they sent Jason to space. I don't see why they can't send.
They sent Jason to space.
Yeah, Halloween Ends. I was so disappointed with that movie.
I know. I remember reading Tony's post and your post after seeing it specifically.
Like, the way they set up the trilogy, it was going to be basically one long Halloween night. Each movie was going to lead into the other one.
Yeah.
For some reason, they decided to go another fucking way with Halloween Ends and to have it follow not Michael Myers, but Corey Cunningham.
That's just
is like Michael Myers is usually 6'6", 6'5".
Mm-hmm.
Corey Cunningham is like 5'7", and he somehow overpowers Michael Myers and takes his mask. And yeah, it was just terrible.
Well, before we get
final
into
thoughts for Ahsoka.
Before we get into our final thoughts for Ahsoka.
Oh yeah, conventions.
We didn't even have any thoughts yet.
I know. We wanted to talk about a little bit of music here too, right?
I was going to have that at the very, very end.
At the very end? Okay, so then let's get into
conventions. People are concerned about like guests and stuff like that. Everything that I've read, celebrities can still go to Comic-Cons and stuff like that. They just can't promote any of the stuff that they're in now. So like they can talk about their past work, but they can't, like, say Margot Robbie went to Fan Expo. She couldn't talk about like Barbie or anything like that, but she could talk about like Suicide Squad and stuff like that.
Wow. So
those who are concerned like about going to Comic-Con or even Silver Scream Con that I'm going to in September, the guests can still go. They just can't talk about anything current that they're in.
Gotcha. Well, that's going to hurt in some places, but I think when you have legacy actors and actresses that are well known for projects that they were, in the past.
Yeah, like Hayden Christensen and Rosario Dawson. Of course, Rosario Dawson can't talk about Ahsoka, but she can talk about The Mandalorian.
Yeah, being in The Mandalorian and playing Ahsoka in The Mandalorian.
Then Hayden can talk about, of course, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Revenge of the Sith, so on and so forth.
Yeah, which they already do. He does that already, and that's super helpful. I think I'm going to be fascinated to see what it does to the people who want to. How do I want to put it? The people that want to do a full weekend of Comic-Con, right? Yeah. I think we're going to see people start to say, hey, you know what? Actually, I think I can take care of everything that I need to on Saturday or on Friday night.
Well, not so much in my case with Silver Scream Con because because it's those who aren't aware, Silver Scream Con is a horror convention, which is it's a mixture of horror, metal music, and just like kind of trivia in a way because they have like a specific panel for like horror trivia and stuff like that. But it's a weekend convention in Danvers, Mass, from Friday to Sunday. But the cool thing is it's being put on by the band Ice Nine Kills, which is actually from Massachusetts, which is even better. And on Saturday, they put on a concert Saturday night at a separate venue, which I think is pretty cool because there was another horror convention called, I think, Rock and Shock. Like probably 10 years ago, that was like a mixture of horror and like music, and there would be like a separate venue where bands would play and stuff like that. So they still have tickets on on sale and stuff like that. So if you guys, anyone's interested, definitely go. I have been to Fan Expo, Rhode Island Comic Con, Silver Screen Con last year. I only went the one day, but I've never seen a convention more organized than Silver Screen Con.
Really?
They were fantastic. Like me, Tony, Dave, and Mike talked about Silver Screen Con for like 2 weeks straight because we were on such a high from the convention. Like, we're like, we wish we could be back there at the convention. I've never felt that way about Fan Expo or Rhode Island Comic Con.
Wow.
Like, they had it perfect where there was like 2 separate rooms where you could get merchandise and autographs, and then there was another one where there was more guests. But it was spaced out enough to where it wasn't like closed in, which is interesting because it's at a hotel.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel claustrophobic like I do at Fan Expo or Rhode Island Comic Con.
Yeah. I've heard that too. About some other conventions that happen up this way, just non-Fan Expo, Read Pop based events or Rhode Island Comic Con and any of those, that the smaller conventions that you can have at hotels, at the convention center within hotels, sometimes are the most accessible and the most fun to attend. I've always liked the big conventions, but I've also enjoyed us doing the Comic Expo in Maine.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Yeah.
You know, smaller conventions that they're more local, where you bring in people who have maybe never even heard of you, people that have never heard of the Steelbook crew, right? Never heard of Commander Nerd.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, last year when we went to Silver Screen Con, there was an actress, Felissa Rose. Her most known movie role was Sleepaway Camp. If you're familiar with that movie,
I know
she's the girl with the dick at the end of the movie. But she was in Dave's video last year, and because Dave went up, he's like, "Are you cool with being in the video?" She's like, "Sure." And like, he just like his questions were pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
That's a Dave question.
And unfortunately, she said yes. Then his second question was, does she like Olive Garden?
Unfortunately,
I hate pineapple on pizza. Pineapple does not go on pizza.
have you ever had a Hawaiian pizza, please?
I have, and I don't like it.
Why not?
I don't like the taste.
I don't want fruit on my pizza.
Do I have to have Renee drive me up there to slap you around? She'll do it.
Yes.
We're here all night.
I'm too lazy.
All night.
I'm too lazy, man. I'm not doing that.
I'm too old.
Next time when we come down, we will do that.
And we'll order pineapple pizza.
Fuck no. You guys can get your pineapple pizza, but not me.
No, we're gonna go to Chili's. That's how that works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how that works. You go to Chili's. Which, by the way, my car's getting fixed, Andrew, officially. The one that I've had issues with.
It's about fucking time.
Wait, why did I do the... Does it recognize the thumbs up? Who did, did you do the thumbs up?
No. You're the host, not me.
Does it recognize when I do thumbs up? Is that...
I don't know.
People on the podcast on the what? We just did it.
That was you.
He's doing stuff.
I did nothing.
I did nothing.
That's a guilty.
Anyway.
Yeah, so car's getting fixed. It'll be nice to have the Hyundai back. Finally can do some traveling in that.
Damn time.
I know, about damn time. That's right.
It's been like 4 years.
No, it's not been 4 years.
Okay, 3 years.
No, not 3 years.
5 years.
You're just going up.
It's been life.
It's been like 3-4 months. That's about it.
3-4 years.
3-4 minutes.
So, no, it's going to be needed for convention runs. It's going to be needed for, doing all the things that we want to do. And, I'm excited about that. But, all right, do we want to get into some...
Definitely Ahsoka. I definitely need to talk about what we saw.
Andrew, kick it off.
Well, I mean, it was like a perfect trailer.
Yeah.
Like, it showed you everything it needed to get you hyped for it, but also it didn't tell you anything of the story.
That's key.
Besides it's Rebels Season 5.
Yeah, well...
George is so good. It's technically...
/ Heir to the Empire. Well, Heir to the Empire 1.5, because Heir to the Empire is going to be Dave Filoni's movie.
Yeah. It's setting up that.
Yes.
Is what we're going to see.
I can't wait.
You can't wait? Yeah.
I can't wait.
I haven't been this excited for a series since...
For a Star Wars series.
Probably Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like,
yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
People have their issues with Obi-Wan Kenobi, but I still love that series.
I still think Andor is still one of my favorite Star Wars shows.
Andor's really good.
Andor's really good.
Yeah.
Because of the writing, so.
Rosario Dawson is Ahsoka now to me after this trailer. I think when we see her in The Mandalorian and, you know, we see her, you know, trying, I guess it was for me. I had seen Rosario Dawson in so many other things.
Yeah, Clerks.
Well, Clerks, but she was also in Jane the Virgin, the show that was on CW.
Yeah. I was in Suits, but that's not
Suits.
Wrong character. Wrong show.
She's been in so many other projects that I was like, oh, okay. So it's going to take me a little bit to get used to Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka. But seeing her in this trailer solidifies it for me.
She plays so much like lively Ahsoka than The Mandalorian.
She plays
from just a trailer.
She is Ahsoka that has gone through the same shit that Luke Skywalker has by Last Jedi.
Absolutely.
She's like, I am not dealing with any more of this crap. Because at this point, we have to remember too
she walked away from Anakin.
She walked away from Anakin and then found out that Anakin is Vader.
Yeah, and not only that, but from the trailer, she walked away from Sabine too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are they saying that Sabine's Force sensitive?
I would say so.
Because I'm fine with it if they are. Because
Ezra Saber is in there, yeah.
The only Mandalorian Jedi we've got a little bit on was Tar Vizsla.
Correct.
And that was it. But we only got stories of him.
Correct.
So I think it would be cool if we see Sabine as our first live action Mandalorian Jedi.
Yeah.
And then at a later point they can go back and tell Tar Vizsla's story.
Yeah.
And how the Darksaber came to be, which honestly I'm fine that the Darksaber got destroyed because that was dividing the Mandalorians completely. With that gone, they have nothing to fight over anymore.
That's right.
Besides Jedi.
So how much of this too with the buildup of Sabine with Ahsoka and their journey for Ezra, heir to the Empire, all of this with Thrawn being involved, how much of this is also setting up the next season of Mandalorian?
That's what I was thinking.
And the fact that we are going to also see possibly, I believe this, I don't think it may not come to fruition, but if we see Bo-Katan back in the picture and Mandalore is still conquerable, then how much of this is going to be House Ren and House Katan? And it's going to be Sabine versus Bo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they never had that fight. Sabine just gave the Darksaber to her.
So I think that there's a lot building up here. I think it's preparing Dave Filoni for what he's doing, but I think it's also preparing Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau for what's going to happen in The Mandalorian the next season.
Or Tamara Morrison's talking to Lucasfilm as well. So we could see Boba Fett coming back too. Maybe not so much a series. I could see him showing up in Dave Filoni's movie.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Dave Filoni's movie, from what I've heard, is wrapping up everything in the Mandoverse. Essentially, it's a finale for that series, and
which is perfect.
Everything. Yeah.
It's a good way to wrap it up.
It's a great way to wrap it up.
And that way, if they want to, they could throw Luke in there. They could throw Han Solo in there, or even Leia. But the thing I don't want them to do, as much as I love Mark Hamill, all them being on set, of course, Carrie Fisher can't be on set. I don't want the de-aging. Recast the character. I am fine with it. Alden Ehrenreich is probably waiting for that phone call to be Han Solo.
Yeah, you're right. He probably is. Yep.
And honestly, it wouldn't take me out of the movie if he's Han Solo in Heir to the Empire.
Nope.
No.
They could even get the stand-in for Luke Skywalker that they use in Book of Boba Fett or even
Shaelyn said that too.
Because he looks like Mark Hamill.
Even without all
even Mark Hamill said he looks more like me than I do. Even then, you could get, even if you don't want to use him, you could use Sebastian Stan.
Yeah.
Because he looks enough like Mark Hamill too. It's not really.
You could they've actually come out and said, I think it was Billy Lord and the Fisher estate was like, if they want to recast Leia, they can go right ahead.
Mm-hmm.
We're fine with that. I think it can be done.
You could see if the timeline. Well, no, I don't know if the timeline would be right because you could see Leia Jedi. I don't. They didn't really say when her training ended.
Yeah, that's true. It was only briefly talked about.
Because I think in the book she was a Jedi, right?
Yes. Yep.
So they could pull from that. Of course, they're not, unless they do put Mara Jade in there. I don't think they could.
No. I mean, they did Thrawn, so I think that they're going to take this step by step.
Yeah.
I think maybe in the film, because
I know.
Uh,
Yeah,
not so much Ahsoka. Maybe in the film she'd show up.
Yeah, because it's Heir to the Empire.
Maybe wait. I was going to say maybe wait until we have, who played the young Leia in Obi-Wan.
Oh, Vivian.
Oh, yeah.
I know she wants to do more. Do like younger Leia.
I don't know if she'll be old enough by the time Heir to the Empire comes out.
True.
But you can have somebody who is similar, who would be, an older version. Yes.
Yeah.
Can we talk about Ray Stevenson in the trailer?
Yes, let's do that before we break into news and everything else.
I'm so sad he's not going to see his performance in the series.
Yeah.
I can't wait. I think Balin's probably going to be my favorite. Besides, of course, like Ahsoka, I think he's going to be my favorite character in the series just by the way he talks and just the way he goes about stuff in the trailer. He knows about Anakin. From what I know, he survived Order 66.
Mm-hmm.
So he's not a clone or anything like that we thought about before.
Right.
And I talked about it with my friend Justin, and Shin is going to be, it's basically the dark side version of Anakin and Ahsoka.
Mm-hmm.
Shin is going to be the more agile, fast one. Balin is going to be like Anakin or Vader, where he's the tank, essentially.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see more from his character.
Yeah. And I think it's going to be really appropriate. I think they're going to lead off this season with a tribute message.
Yeah.
For Ray Stevenson.
Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if every episode has
it has like a RS for Ray Stevenson at the end.
Or like at the end,
or the episodes where he specifically is in. Yeah. Something like that. Yeah, I agree. I want to know more about his character.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really sad that he had to leave us so soon.
Yeah.
Because I think we'll probably walk away from this series and we'll say
more.
Okay, I'm going to say it, all right? I walked away from Attack of the Clones and I said I want more Count Dooku.
Yeah, that's basically how we're going to be with Balin.
Same thing going.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like, I want more of him. He's got that Dooku-type presence.
Absolutely. Especially the beard and the way he talks.
You could totally get him in animated form.
Yeah. Because they are doing more Tales of the Jedi. So they could tell his backstory and where he knew Anakin. Because he knows Anakin.
Is this
people are like, oh, how does he know Anakin? I'm like, Anakin was known throughout the galaxy in the Clone Wars. Like, what's a way to compare it? Like everyone knows the Beatles, essentially.
Yes.
Everyone's going to know about Anakin Skywalker, what he did in the Clone Wars.
Yep.
Whether he talked to Anakin or not remains to be seen. But the other thing that I like is when he mentions Anakin to Ahsoka, you hear Vader's breathing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they're not really hiding the fact that Big V is probably showing up.
Yeah, he's definitely showing up in this. Agreed. Yep, he most certainly is. I mean, we see that there's an Inquisitor.
I have my theories on that Inquisitor.
Do you?
Yeah. I'll get into my theories, but I also like that they kind of brightened up the orange lightsabers.
Yes.
They made them look a lot better.
They did. And I think that was on purpose. I think maybe somebody within the team, after they showed it at Celebration, came back and said, "Oh, we need to make a couple more edits here." You know.
But I like that it's not just the traditional like red lightsabers. That it shows that they're not Sith, but they're not Jedi as well. Which, I mean, Balin says it in the trailer. We're no Jedi.
They haven't been bled fully.
Yeah, I think the scene when they're attacking the cruiser, I think that's the opening of the series.
Wow.
That would be a hell of a way to start the series.
It would make sense, though, because we've had historically in Star Wars, what's happened? A New Hope.
What if that's a prison transport that has the other prisoners in there in Mandalorian?
Or it's
that would make it full circle with, like, we've seen that prison essentially get taken over by Mandalorian or Din, and now it's in the hands of basically Thrawn.
I would love to see them trying to break Thrawn out, is what I would love to see.
Yeah.
And,
with Thrawn.
They open up the doors and it's just the back of Thrawn's head, and then you just see him slowly turn and you catch part of his red eye or something.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
Which I'm glad we finally got like a full shot of Thrawn.
Yes.
And I think he looks great. Like people like, of course, there's the jokes that people are making that he looks like Elon Musk or Data from Star Trek, but but I think he looks great, and I'm glad that it's Lars Mikkelsen that's playing him, because it wouldn't be the same if it was a different voice for Thrawn.
Yeah.
That clip alone, if you look back, who's standing behind him? Have you noticed that?
I didn't.
It's a clone pilot that's standing behind him.
And that makes
a second-gen clone pilot. So my question is that a current scene to this time period, or is that Thrawn coming out of the Imperial Academy, finally getting his role as Grand Moff, and they haven't phased out everybody just yet?
Grand Admiral.
Well, no, he's no. But in Heir to the Empire, he was a Moff for about a month.
Okay, only a month.
Only a month, because Tarkin got through all the people that he wanted to.
Yeah, you're right.
And he got himself to Grand Moff, and then he realized.
Speaking of which, talking about Tarkin, did you guys know that he was gay?
I had a suspicion.
No.
In one of the comics, it's like he had a thing for one of the officers, and when he was killed by Vader, which he didn't know, he sought revenge against the rebels. So that's why he was so hell-bent on destroying Yavin.
I love that.
Interesting.
I love that. Let's. There's a lot of things in Star Wars and in content that you read, and I sit here with Shaelyn all the time, and I'll say it because it's fantastic. Andrew, you'll know this too. We'll be sitting and watching a movie, and she'll be like, "Oh, they're lovers."
Yeah.
Like, oh, they're totally bi. And it's true, right? Like, you do read content and you do see things, and it's like you can't ignore it. It's right there. But rather than hiding that, let's embrace that then.
Yeah.
it's the chemistry between actors and actresses.
But like,
That's it.
And actors,
but Russell Crowe and Paul Bettany in Masters and Commander, when we were watching it last night, she was like, "Oh yeah, they're totally a married couple." It was great because in my mind, I'm like, Russell Crowe and Paul Bettany, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, you're right. I did not know that. I didn't know that the comics explored that, but it would make sense.
Mm-hmm.
He was that kind of guy.
Yeah. And the other thing that I did like that they brought into the Tarkin book, because Peter Cushing couldn't wear the riding boots because they were too small for his feet. And he was wearing carpet slippers the entire shoot. So that's why he was only waist up in the shoot. They brought into the book that Tarkin also hated the Imperial boots as well.
Oh, nice. I love that. That's really cool.
But I wonder if Thrawn will talk about Tarkin, because him and Tarkin kind of went back and forth quite a bit.
Yeah, they did. Tarkin had his what do I want to say? He had his reservations about Thrawn, but that's because of the racism that existed within the Imperial regime. You know, he was like, why should an alien go higher than me? Is what basically his attitude was. And Palpatine's like, dude, you don't understand.
Have you seen his track record?
Have you seen his track record? Do you see what he does with Vader?
Yeah.
Like Vader answers to Thrawn in the second book.
In respect, too.
In full respect, because he recognizes how Thrawn's tactician and his understanding of history, just all of it, his tactical.
And the fact that Thrawn knows that Vader's Anakin, too.
Yeah, he can't. It's like there's a big secret right there, too. I got to listen to this guy.
And it's a good thing that's where Thrawn is brilliant, because he knows not to mention that to Vader, because he's like, yeah, Vader would kill me if I mentioned that. Yeah. And I can't wait. Nobody's ready for Thrawn when he shows up.
No.
And those that are like worried, on IMDb, it lists like Lars Mikkelsen and like Hayden Christensen for like one episode of Ahsoka. They have that listed on IMDb so it doesn't spoil anything for the series.
Correct.
They're going to be in the series for more than one episode.
They have to be. They have to be.
Thrawn, of course.
Yeah.
Ezra went with Thrawn. It's right there.
Yeah. Like, someone was upset that Ezra was only in one episode. I guarantee you, like, he's not going to be in all 8 episodes. So those that are going to be upset about that, I don't know what to tell you. You're just never going to be happy about anything within Star Wars.
I'm sorry, the series is called Ahsoka.
Ezra. It's not called Ezra. Or it's not called Thrawn.
No, exactly.
Heir to the Empire, on the other hand, you're going to see a lot more Thrawn.
Exactly.
This is essentially Ahsoka.
I mean, hell, you don't see Thrawn a whole lot in Rebels. Maybe
very select.
He's in maybe 20 episodes of the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, and some of them are very brief. Some of them are just him giving a report on what's going on with.
Sometimes he's taking a dump.
Yeah. Sometimes he's working out and is absolutely ripped.
Is his pee blue?
Are we asking this question?
Robin,
yes.
How long have you known me?
We're pushing.
We're pushing.
You're pushing.
Let's see. We're getting up
question,
to.
Andrew, it's blue.
He pees Hawaiian punch.
He's red.
I knew it.
It's delicious.
Let's see. We started talking.
Are you looking it up?
2017.
You're not Kiwi.
2017.
2017. 6 years.
60 years?
60.
6.
It feels like it's 6 years.
I'm older than you, and how is my hearing better?
I have horrible hearing.
What?
Oh yeah, that. Huh?
And Sean, what? Anyway, yeah, no, I'm super excited for Ahsoka. I think people do. You're right, Andrew. They need to not be looking at IMBDDM for their information.
Yeah.
Why don't you just wait and watch it, then make
exactly. Like, why try to spoil yourself to see how many episodes someone's in because it says that.
I went on Reddit.
Don't go on Reddit.
What subreddit did you go on, Robin?
Oh, there are so many subreddits that are absolutely ridiculous.
Am I the asshole?
There's not r/Capri Sun.
I'm sure there is.
r/Brick City Blockade.
One of my favorite Reddits of all time and subreddits is r/Star Wars Theory.
Don't even get me started on him.
I know he's in there right now. So I can say this: if you want a Star Wars Theory report, so that we can go off on this show,
Sure.
Theory report, so we can go off. At one point, he said, "I told you so."
About what?
About everything. No, he said, "I told you so." About oh God, what was it? It was something about Thrawn. He said, "I told you so." Basically, around that Dave Filoni was going to introduce Thrawn, and that Thrawn was going to be played by Lars Mikkelsen.
We all knew that.
Yeah, I know. He said this was hilarious. He said, "The minute I saw Thrawn in Rebels, I knew Lars Mikkelsen would play that character."
Lars Mikkelsen?
Lars Mikkelsen. He was like, "I knew when I saw Thrawn in Star Wars Rebels that..."
We knew that because of the fucking trailer, you fucking idiot.
Yep.
We heard him talk in the fucking trailer.
And you know what he even said then?
That he's bald and he's stupid?
Nope. He said, "How about you go
He
out
has
and
a vagina
buy my Order 66 merch?"
I don't know.
He has merch.
Yeah, he's got merch. It says, instead of Route 66, it says Order 66 on it. We should make hats.
Did you see that he put up a new video saying Kathleen Kennedy fired? My source comes through. I want to know who his fucking source is.
I would love to know who his source is, other than a random rock on the side of the road in Los Angeles.
Yeah, or what's the website that we always tell people not to look at?
Star Wars Newsnet? No, not Star Wars Newsnet. No, Star Wars Explained is great. He's good.
Star Wars Explained is fine.
Star Wars Newsnet is good.
Yeah.
Not
Geeks and Gamers.
Oh, Geeks and Gamers?
Yeah, they're terrible. They're as bad as Star Wars Theory. The main guy who owns that was going to go to Celebration and fuck with everyone.
Oh, that's right.
And he got banned, and he got pissed about it. And it's like,
that's right.
And again, Star Wars Theory wonders why Lucasfilm didn't invite him to Celebration.
Hi guys, I'm here at the airport. I'm waiting on my everybody's going to Star Wars Celebration. I hope you guys have an amazing time. I'm still waiting on Dave Filoni and everybody. Hey, fuck you.
Just because you made a shitty Vader fan film, and you're still somehow working on the second one, which isn't even going to be live action, so that shows how much you suck. His fucking dialogue is worse than George Lucas, and that says a lot.
Well, I can't wait for Ahsoka.
Yeah,
Ahsoka's gonna be fantastic.
Watch. Well, he's gonna eventually hate Ahsoka because that's the thing. He loved the sequel trilogy, but then he realized I wasn't getting him views, so he decided to be like, "Oh no, I hate the sequel trilogy." If you go back to when The Last Jedi came out, he said, "This is a perfect Star Wars movie."
Yes, I remember us talking about that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. And then suddenly it's like, "Oh, Last Jedi. Oh my God, Rian Johnson. He did horrible."
I guarantee you, if there's one slow episode, which it's how many episodes? 8?
It's going to be a couple. Yes.
There has to be a breathing room.
Show in existence is always so exciting.
Yeah.
So,
you have to have it.
I guarantee you, when it gets to the slower episode, he's going to be like, Ahsoka's ruined.
Ahsoka didn't do this.
I can't masturbate to my action figure anymore.
Hey guys, I'm here at the airport. I'm waiting for Lucasfilm, waiting on my tickets to Star Wars Celebration. I don't know what's going on. Nobody likes me. I don't know what to tell you.
I don't know. Maybe if he wasn't bald and didn't have a vagina chin.
Whoa, that Andrew, that's
what?
That's accurate. Anyway, so
Exposed.
Anyway, yeah.
Anyway,
it's ridiculous.
Ahsoka's got to be great. But I do want to get into my theory about the Inquisitor.
Yes, let's get into that before we get into music.
Because that scene is in the same forest as the scene where Sabine's fighting Shin. So I think it's at the same time. All right, so I don't even care if my theory is wrong. Just the more I thought of it, it probably is. I think it could either be Barriss Offee.
Don't get me started.
Or it could be Ezra that was brainwashed by Thrawn to be an Inquisitor. And Ahsoka, during the fight, knocks the helmet off. And as Sabine's on the ground, she sees Ezra as the Inquisitor, and that just breaks her mind.
Whoa.
I thought Barriss Offee got killed off.
Because
off screen.
The Inquisitor, she fights the Inquisitor twice in the trailer in two separate spots. So it's not just some schmuck who's just like, oh, I'm swinging a lightsaber.
Look at my spinny saber.
It's small parts.
Oh, God. That's an interesting theory. I didn't even think about that. Thrawn has the ability to do stuff like that.
Because think about this. It was only Ezra and Thrawn. And Thrawn can hold his own against, like, the Dark Troopers.
Yeah.
The robot ones. So...
Robot ones, yeah.
Robot.
So, like, Thrawn is fine with hand-to-hand combat. He can easily... Like, yeah, Ezra has the Force. But if Ezra is basically... Again, we don't know exactly where they went. But I feel like they had some fight and maybe somehow Thrawn overpowered Ezra, because Ezra's still like 15, 19, I don't know.
Somewhere between 14 and 18. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think it would be cool if, like, it's someone we knew from Rebels.
Yeah.
That goes down that dark path, because we knew he was going down a dark path anyway.
Right.
After season 2, but then they kind of abandoned that because it was too easy to tell that he was going to turn to the dark side. So Dave Filoni was like, "Nope,
nope.
I'll save that for Ahsoka."
No, that's right. No, I think that's a great theory. I do. I think we can definitely.
Star Wars theory.
Thunder.
Is it thunder or fireworks?
Or gunshots.
Fireworks? Maybe it's fireworks.
Zombies.
Could be that too.
You are out in New Hampshire.
This is true.
If anyone's going to get overrun by zombies, it's going to be those in New Hampshire.
So, Andrew, you want to talk about some music to wrap us up this evening, huh?
Yeah. I thought of a segment that we could do, like,
yeah, sure.
What music we're listening to these days. So,
whoa.
What are you guys listening to?
Well, for me, I've been listening to Speak Now.
I've been listening to Blues Clues.
Well, we just went vinyl hunting today. So
we did go vinyl hunting, yeah.
Is that your thing? Vinyl hunting and stuff like that?
Yes.
Like how the Steelbook crew goes out for steelbooks.
Yeah.
You guys are vinyls.
Yes.
Yes.
Here, let me see if. Oh, yes. So this was Billy Joe Jr. No, I'm just kidding.
You have mine too.
Yeah, here you go. Oh, look at this. We're doing like Commander Nerd style here.
You are.
All right, Sean, you go first. Look at this. The folks that are on YouTube get this. This is pretty cool.
Folks. So,
hi guys, my name's Commander Nerd. I collect Blu-rays. No,
which I always love.
Hey, I got 1.13K subscribers.
Okay? I know. By saying that, I would at least get 5.
You got like -1.
-1.
-1 subscriber.
All right, Sean, you go right ahead.
So yeah, I picked up. I'm a huge hip hop fan, so I got Wu-Tang, 36 Chambers, classic album. Wu-Tang for the Wu-Tang for the children.
For the children.
For the children.
For the children ever done for me.
And then I got this old country album. I don't know if you know Bobby Gentry. Very, very 60s.
Renee definitely does. She's
Yeah.
more the country.
I'm not a country fan, but I do love like old country. So it's like,
old country's good. I'm not too big on like new country.
And then I got Nora Jones album, great album. And then TLC. It's yeah. Huge R&B.
That was your birthday gift too.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, birthday.
Happy birthday.
Birthday. Couple hours.
All right. So, of course, so
Well,
Shayla's not here, so he's just showing.
Well, no, it's the other thing of, and Andrew understands this. When you have a ring on your finger, right?
You take it off.
There is no, you take it off, man. No, you have to understand once you have this on you that anything
it doesn't just become that individual's item; it becomes our item.
It becomes our item. My sweatshirts have become our item.
Your underwear has become.
No, you're absolutely right. They've become loungewear.
Where's my ring?
I gotta get you a ring. So
It'll be a dick ring.
Cock ring?
Yes.
Say it right, Andrew.
I mean, when we go to Bull Moose, there's a porn store right across the street.
that's where we went today, by the way.
Yeah.
The one in Salem?
No, we went to the one in Portsmouth. There's a newer one in Portsmouth. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't been to that one yet.
It's really good.
We usually go to the one in Salem because that one's always the one that has
we'll
like.
go next time.
Yeah, we'll go next time. We'll do a Blu-ray hunt there.
We'll
We're
record.
doing one in October.
Go.
Uh-oh.
Well,
So,
see, we're showing our vinyls. I guess I'll show mine. Hold on.
yeah, might as well. So I got Noah Kahan.
No con.
No Khan. Kahan.
Say it
Khan,
right.
Khan,
Say it
Khan.
right.
Noah Khan. Stick Season. Very popular album right now. It's a big favorite of Shaelyn and mine. And you have Northern Attitude. Stick Season. Great song. And Halloween is a good one as well. Also picked up.
Sorry.
Oh, speak now. Yeah, Taylor Swift.
This is not mine and Shaelyn's and Robin's. Yeah, but I have
Shaelyn's
mine at
one,
home.
Yeah. Hosier, the debut album. It's a really good album. It's got Take Me to Church.
Who was that?
And what's that?
Who was that?
Hosier.
Take me to church.
Oh, want to go to church.
Take me to church. That guy.
Speaking of church, we had Jehovah's Witness come up to us during a Steelbook hunt on Tuesday.
No.
They were like, Andrew, they're looking for you. I'm like, go away.
Go away.
Go away. No. Badlands, Halsey. Shaelyn wanted to pick that up. And of course, this is a classic 80s album. One of my favorite artists of all time. Mr. Peter Gabriel. The album is called Os. I mean, so.
Os.
It's got In Your Eyes, the light, the heat.
That's all the tease you
That's all I can get without
Copyright.
It's also got one of my favorite songs, actually, that was used for WrestleMania from Peter Gabriel.
What song?
I have my way of making it big time.
Oh, shit. I didn't realize that.
Yeah. That was one of my favorite WrestleManias, by the way.
It was a good WrestleMania.
Which one? That was Undertaker versus Randy Orton?
Batista.
That was Randy Orton versus.
No, Undertaker versus Batista.
Yeah, I know you have more vinyls.
I brought more finals.
All right, so Andrew, what do you got?
Well, I only got 3. But
okay.
the first one that I got was Ozzy's latest album, Patient Number 9.
Ooh.
I just love the way Ozzy looks on the vinyl. It just looks badass. And then on the back there.
Nice. Oh, I love that picture of Ozzy.
I do too.
Yeah, Sean's got a briefcase he's going to go through.
Oh, damn. And then for my birthday, because I had to finish the 2 sets, even though I don't have a vinyl player, I had to get the Ice Nine Kills, the Silver Scream,
Ooh,
vinyl.
of course.
And then the Silver Screen 2. Welcome to Hollywood.
That's a great album.
It is. All right, what do you got, Sean?
Here, I'm gonna give a shot in the camera because I'm gonna go put these back. So here.
Yeah, so
You
I
gotta
got
go
like,
pee.
Bye, Andrew.
like the recent ones I've got. Like, oh, let's see, what do I have? Yeah, this is like what I brought. Actually, Robin got this for me, I think last year. To carry
Nice.
all my vinyls.
It's
So
convenient.
I have Boy Genius, this first EP and first album, which is great folk. If you're really getting into folk kind of alternative, really great.
I like it.
Love this album cover. It's so beautiful. SZA.
Yeah.
R&B
It's
art.
definitely the artwork that gets me a lot with the vinyls.
It's like one of my favorite artworks too. Like it's so good.
Yeah.
I recently picked up Tori Amos.
I like that it's basically just a white vinyl. It's kind of
Really good. Gentlemen, I can't show what's inside.
oh
Well, if we turn off I'll show you after when we turn off.
okay.
All I'm saying is there's boobs, breasts.
Ooh, perfect.
But it's art. It's art, but it's not.
Yeah.
Like, it's drawn. I don't want it so we don't get copyright or
Yeah.
banned.
Yeah, that'd be bad. Well, I mean,
I'm not risking it. I'll show you.
yeah, I wouldn't risk it.
I love this album, Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah, that's
One
really
of I love this album with like Killing the Name of Bomb Track. Great, just it's such a good album cover. And I've been trying to find more Rage Against the Machine albums, which some old stuff. Phoebe Bridgers I brought, so that's I have a bunch more at home, but this is all I brought.
yeah. Now that's a good collection right there.
Yeah, very very good collection.
Really good collection.
Wait, I'm going to show Robin his reaction. I can't show it on stream. In the inside of this. Yeah.
Well then,
Anyway, but what music are you guys like listening to?
I have been listening to. Let's see here. What has been recent to my listening? I have
Listen.
Oh wait, no, I ripped pants.
the Wiggles.
I've been listening to a lot of Blackpink, K-pop group, very popular.
I listen to them here and there.
Let's see. I've been listening to a lot of Foreigner.
Okay.
I love Foreign's group.
I've been listening to.
My dad used to listen to Florida all the time.
Yeah, I've been kind of like on a late 70s, 80s kick recently.
Mm-hmm.
There's been a lot of Phil Collins.
My
Can't go
mom.
wrong with Phil Collins. I mean, the soundtrack of Tarzan is just one of the best Disney soundtracks because of Phil Collins.
Mhm.
You'll Be in My Heart just makes me cry every time.
Oh, that's because you're a baby.
Yeah. And yeah. OAR, not OAR.
Oasis.
No, not even Oasis. YouTube. Yeah, there has been some YouTube. When I do Spotify, I do the radio option.
Creed.
So, what's that?
Creed.
Creed. Oh God.
I unfortunately saw them in concert one year.
Did
It
you?
was a free ticket. That's why I went.
Okay, that's worth it.
It was at Mohegan Sun too.
Oh wow, Creed it.
Yeah.
Mohegan Sun. Wow.
And ironically, Skillet was opening for them, and they were the better band.
Can people stop hating on Incubus?
I haven't listened to Incubus.
Incubus is good.
Who?
Incubus is really good.
What is
I've been
Incubus?
What?
Like what genre is Incubus?
Oh, it's absolutely like alt rock.
Oh,
Are
they similar to like Limp Bizkit?
No, not similar to Limp Bizkit. No, Limp Bizkit's like rock more. Incubus is more like in the same category as
Collective Soul.
Yeah, Collective Soul. Actually, kind of in the same category as like Nickelback, if I'm being honest.
Okay.
They're a Canadian band. Canadian bands are underrated.
I agree, because actually there's a Canadian band that I just kind of became friends with on Instagram called let me look it up real quick so I say it right. So that way they get their plug. Contour. They're in the same style as like My Chemical Romance and stuff like that. They're really good. They actually just had their first show last week.
Oh, that's cool. Contour. I'll have to look them up and see what they're all about.
Okay, so they're kind of like Incubus is like experimental rock, alternative metal, funk metal.
Yeah, funk metal is interesting.
I don't know the differences between all the metal genres, but I'll give them a listen.
Softcore metal.
What is this band?
I was about to say it's definitely not Ice Nine Kills style metal, then.
No. Yeah, no, there's Incubus, and then there was another band that I had been recently listening to a lot of. Let's find which one it was. What about you, Andrew? What have you been listening to?
Well, ironically, a band called Avatar.
Oh, wow.
I know who they are. They're good. They're a good band.
Yeah, if like it's hit or miss with me sometimes with like really heavy metal, but if you can have me like tap my foot and like nod my head to the music, it's doing its job.
Nope. Sorry, Spotify DJ went off. What's up, Robin? I'm not.
Yeah, no. I've been listening to Avatar. I really like their style and like their music videos, where the lead singer basically looks like the Crow, essentially. I've been listening to Atreyu.
I know who they are.
They're pretty heavy. I've been getting into heavy metal a lot, like heavy metal. Of course, Metallica. Been listening to a band they're from Finland called Ghost.
Oh, Ghost!
Yeah, I've been really liking Ghost.
Yeah, they're really good.
There's a band called I recently found out from YouTube. They're called the Klangphonics. They're not like dubstep, but they're more like indie wave kind of techno. They're really good.
Then my friend Mike, who also got me into Ice Nine Kills, has been getting me into Motionless in White. Yeah. They're on the same style as like Ice Nine Kills and stuff like that. And then, of course, I've been listening to the band Him a lot lately too. Which they're also based out of Finland.
There's a lot of good bands.
Yeah.
A lot of Icelandic bands too. Like I love listening to that. Like,
Then I've been, of course, going back to listen to the Beatles, George Harrison, Eric Clapton here and there.
There's a lot of Led Zeppelin lately.
The Noah Kahn album that I showed you is very George Harrison.
Okay.
Just the design of it is very George Harrison. Like, there was a re-release of a George Harrison album recently. I saw it at Bull Moose today.
Maybe it's All Things Must Pass?
Yeah, it is All Things That Must Pass. Yeah, All Things Must Pass. It was
they did a new mix of a lot of the songs and stuff.
Yeah, the vinyl for it's beautiful. The vinyl for it's really pretty. And it's got that same New England type backdrop with George Harrison and his dog, which is really great. So, yeah, that's a good one. I haven't listened to George Harrison in a while. I should. I like George.
Let's see. What else am I listening to?
Hey, look.
Yeah, just those bands lately.
Yeah.
Van Halen I've been getting into.
Oh, yeah, I love that Van Halen.
I've been listening to a lot of Julian Baker. She's part of Boy Genius, so
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've been listening to a lot of nothing. No, I'm just kidding. I've been listening to
Renee Rapp. She's like a former. I mean, she still does Broadway, but her music's more like, I don't know, not like Ariana Grande, but like, I don't know, it's that kind of realm of pop music.
Okay.
She's a great voice, though. So
yeah. A lot of good stuff.
D-Smoke. I
D-Smoke.
love D-Smoke. He's a great Mexican English rapper.
Nice. So, Andrew, who's one person that you would recommend to people right now that they should listen to?
Oh, jeez.
Especially
Especially, well, depends. Do they like heavy metal?
I don't care. You just get them into whatever, man.
I would say Avatar. They're really good with their music.
Avatar's great.
Oh,
From
you can't just agree with Andrew and walk on.
Or Ice Nine Kills. If you haven't listened to Ice Nine Kills, definitely give them a shot.
Yeah.
Especially if you like horror.
especially
their last two albums.
I'll say Boy Genius and with also their solo stuff, Phoebe stuff, Julian Baker and Lucy Dracus, all great. So if you all get into indie alternative, so I recommend them.
Yeah. The band I am going to recommend to everybody is called Calabash. They are a electro techno pop group, and what's cool about it is that it's two guys that are out of, I believe, either Finland or Sweden, and they do a lot of house music and stuff, right? But when they bring artists on to do their music, it's either one of them singing to do the background vocals, and then they usually have a disguised vocalist that does it.
Like a masking singer.
It's like a little bit of masked singer, and you listen to it, and on each one of their songs, they do it as singles or EP releases. And when you listen, you're like, wait, hold on. Even with the masking of the voice, it sounds familiar. So I listened to the song called Gory Love by them, and it's actually Cautious Clay that has his voice. Yeah, he works with John Mayer and stuff. But I guess there are other artists that have had their voice masked. They've gone into the studio with Calabash, and they've actually had their voices like completely dubbed over. Mm-hmm. And then people are like, oh my goodness, I had no idea that they were featured on that song, because they're not even credited on the EP itself until later on in a social media post. When it shows a picture of them in the studio. So it's a little like a bait and switch. Like you might think it's this person, but it's actually that person. Yeah, so really, really cool. I've been getting back into Daft Punk. I love Daft Punk. So.
It's hit or miss for me sometimes, but I do like some Daft Punk.
Yeah. I listened to Daft Punk as a kid, so that was the only reason I got into that. But
I've actually been listening to a lot of Avril Lavigne.
Avril Lavigne? Why you gonna make things so complicated?
Yeah.
I mean, she was my childhood crush growing up. I'm just saying.
That's fair. I think she was Shaylyn's as well.
Shaelyn,
did you have a crush on Avril Lavigne?
Yes.
She's like, what do you mean used to?
And I don't think so. Did you have one on Hayden Christensen? Definitely. Okay.
Yeah.
I did have a crush on Avril Lavigne.
Who didn't?
I did. I wanted to be a skater boy. That she said, see you later, boy, too.
I was about to say. But she won't let you go.
Nope.
When she's gone.
Okay, that's enough.
And you won't be her happy ending.
Oh, no. Anyways, let's wrap this thing up. Let's end it with the one thing that we like to call
penis time.
No, it's not. What the hell? No, it's not stick. No, God, jeez.
It's sticky time.
Blech. No, it's not.
You can
Oh,
find
it's
a-
gag time. That's what you're saying.
What?
Gag time. Did you?
You can find Brick City on
No,
OnlyFans.
we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Guys, it's plug time.
Butt plug time.
There it is. That's what I was waiting for. Oh, my goodness. Sean, where can good people find you on social media?
Shot.
Yeah, you're in the frame.
I'm not in frame. Sorry, I'm leaning now.
In the frame.
I'm
You can
leaning.
find me on Pornhub.
Frame. Okay. You guys can follow me on Twitter, Sean Michaud, on Instagram at ZoneZ, and Facebook if you want. I don't go on Facebook much. So
Andrew, where can people find you?
Well, you can find me on Twitter at Commander Nerd, on Instagram at Andrew62592, and on here on YouTube at Commander Nerd. I am currently on a hiatus from YouTube. I will be back in August. Just need mental break.
Yes.
Who are you talking to?
No, you can continue. It's fine.
you're talking
I
to
was
me.
talking to Sean. Anyway, yes.
Okay. But I will be back in August when Guardians of the Galaxy comes out on 4K. Also, be on the lookout. I have this October, I'm going to do a lot more watch alongs, especially with horror movies.
Halloween.
So, one of the first ones I'm doing, because I want to go on this nostalgia trip, I'm doing a triple feature.
Ooh.
It's pretty easy to do these as a triple feature. I'm doing 3 of the Goosebumps specials. I'm doing The Haunted Mask,
Oh.
A Night in Terror Tower, and Werewolf of Fever Swamp. Those 3 are probably the best of the Goosebumps specials, and that's going to be the first watch along is those 3, just to give a nostalgia factor, and then I'm going to go into some heavy shit with like Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Goosebumps right to Texas.
Yes. And then
Texas.
I haven't really gone into the Saw movies, so I might do that.
See, now you've piqued my interest because the Saw movies do not bother me.
Really? That's surprising.
Well, that's gore now.
It's
Gore.
gore. That's why. Gore does not bother me.
How would you feel about Terrifier then?
Shush. Terrifier's in its own freaking category.
You sure you're not wrong on that one?
Oh.
Fucking
I can
girl
do the
gets-
first couple Saw
fucking-
films. That's I'm
Fucking
not.
girl gets sawed up the middle in Terrifier.
Anyway,
Yeah.
dag. But that's where people can find you, Andrew.
Yeah, at
Fantastic.
Commander Nerd, and yeah, it'll be a lot of fun this October.
Yeah.
And you can see me at Silver Screen Con,
Yes. When are those dates, Andrew?
September 8th to the 10th.
Nice. Cool.
Cool. Yeah.
You guys can follow me over on Twitter at VisualDJNH. You can follow us over on Twitter as well at Brick City SWPC. Also at Real Fandom Talk. We switched it back over to Real Fandom Talk because everybody really enjoys that hashtag or the
It also gives us more to talk about.
yeah, exactly.
I mean, we never talked about like vinyls or anything like that before.
No, we never really got into that.
we
so.
used to do like our top 10 albums.
Yeah, it was like a Patreon thing.
Yeah,
that
we used
did.
to do like
top tens.
We used to do top 10s. If you guys want to do top 10s, come back, let us know.
I think it'd be cool.
Top 10 songs.
Top 10 songs of all time.
Top 10 albums.
That our top 10 personal favorite songs.
Wow.
Top 10 porn stars.
Top 10
That
commercials of the 90s and early 2000s.
Oh Jesus!
Top 10.
There
like,
wasn't there like one night where we just watched like old 90s commercials?
Oh
or
yeah, it
something?
was great.
We did,
That's great.
and we watched like WWE commercials.
Yeah, we did.
That's right. So follow us over there. We're on Facebook. You'll be seeing us at Rhode Island Comic Con this year. Waiting to hear back from FanX.
Maybe me. I don't know. Depends on the new job, really.
Yeah. Hopefully we won't do like 5 months hiatus of
No.
Robin.
A lot of great stuff coming up. I think we were in a hiatus because it was kind of like, what's going on, Disney? What's going on with the world?
We can find other stuff to talk about.
Yeah,
we did that.
We could do that again.
Let's do it again.
Then go on another hiatus.
Anyway, check us out on the next one, guys. Actually, the next episode is episode 50.
We'll do a marathon.
Well, we kind of miscounted a few of them. But
No, I found it.
You did?
I found the mystery episode 48.
What? What do you mean?
What was 48?
What's that?
What was 48?
Older than me and you?
It was, no, episode 48 is the lost episode.
Oh, yeah, the lost tapes.
We recorded an episode on Zoom that we never released.
Was I there?
Yes, you were.
What are we talking about? I don't remember.
What the hell did we talk about?
No, spoilers.
No, you can't. I will share the details. I can tell you this.
You say this now, then you'll look.
Broadcast and tell us.
Yeah, Drew. It followed our reviews of the Star Wars films as we wrapped up, and we were heading towards the last of the Star Wars films opening night. We actually did an episode.
Was that 48?
No. When you said that we were missing some numbers, right?
Yeah.
I misjudged and I skipped over a number. So a mystery episode.
Oh, you also had two number 47s.
Exactly. Exactly. So they've been renegotiated. So
I didn't
episode
negotiate
48.
anything.
We're terrible at the podcast, by the way. That's what he's saying.
We are renegotiating.
We can't do numbers.
We're doing a great job. So check that out. Episode 50, we'll come up with what we want to do for that. Whether
we gotta go really balls to the wall with episode 69.
Yeah, we do.
We'll do a 5-minute episode.
5-minute episode.
It'll be like Human Centipede.
It's gonna be just like the end of the secret.
Robin, have you seen Human Centipede?
The secret.
What is it?
Have you seen Human Centipede?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah.
Because that's what I said episode 69 is going to be.
Anyway, guys, it's been fun on this episode with you. We will catch you on the next episode. And until then, as we always say here.
Fuck you.
No, that's not what we say.
Always wrap your willy before you tap it.
May the force be with you all.
I hate this. Goodbye.
Oh,
yeah.
I can't present. No.
That's what she said.